Okay. We're live. You there, Miss Hawkey?
I am. I should be. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we can see you. Right. Welcome to the finale of the F1 season with this first F1RST broadcast of the year as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi circuit. I'm joined by the Miss Sarah Hawkey.
Hello. And on my side, obviously, I'm joined by Midnight ISO. I think I pointed to the right side this time.
What probably doesn't help was we're on different sides to each other.
Yeah, it's just like, either way, either side.
We're going to have to work this out going forwards, but
It's,
I quite
yeah,
like it. It's a bit of mystery, isn't it?
yeah, it's like, he's somewhere there.
I'm around. We're around here somewhere. Hello, Pedro. Right, Sarah, finale. We're here. We've made it through the
Yeah.
whole year of the Max Verstappen show.
Yeah. It's Max Verstappen's world. We're just living in it.
Pretty much. It is that, pretty much. It is one of those years where it's been absolutely dominated by one person, but we've still seen some good racing. And even though Max has been dominant with the wins, he has had to fight for a lot of them. So it has been good. It has been good one way or another, despite the literal domination. But I don't know about you. I am willing to, despite the positivity there, willing to just see next year to see an actual battle for the championship. But hey,
Yeah.
that's looking too far forwards. We're at the Grand Prix today. Let's enjoy this, shall we? Finale time. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah. I think we've seen obviously the likes of like Ferrari and McLaren the last few races, especially catching up finally. But it's took a lot of teams a lot longer this year to kind of performance-wise catch up to Red Bull.
Absolutely. Bless you.
Thank you. I came out of nowhere. I was trying to stop it the whole time while I was talking, and I was like,
I do find when you're talking, that's the time you need to sneeze the most.
yeah. Yeah. Apart from that, I feel like this season has gone very fast. Like we were saying yesterday, it's the most races we've had, but it's also gone the quickest. If that makes sense.
We've had no real break and things. I mean, we've missed Imola and China, despite obviously it being the biggest season. It would have been bigger. We've had no real breaks. I mean, for us, we've had pre-GPs, we've had this, we've had other form of esports racing and that sort of thing. It has been a packed year outside of F1 as well. So whenever an F1 weekend rolls round, we're like, oh god, how are we going to fit everything in, aren't we? I mean, it's literally half the weeks of a year now as an F1 Grand Prix.
Yep.
Give or take. So, I'm welcoming a little bit of downtime. So let the teams recover. I mean, the teams themselves, the mechanics must be absolutely knackered at this time of year. Despite they must enjoy their life. Going to all these different exotic countries, experiencing everything that they can, and all special alongside the racing. But yeah, I'm welcoming a little bit of break. It must be quite a party atmosphere there. And it's time for them to have a bit of a chill out after this for at least a month.
Yeah. There are a few fights for the position. There are a few fights for position in both championships that are going to be decided today.
As well as the Hemsworth brothers being here.
Was that tyre smoke from Max or was that engine?
I'll be honest, I didn't see.
There was a little bit of white smoke. I think it was just his tyres where he was trying to get them warmed up.
Right, well, I'm going to be keeping an eye on particularly Leclerc into the first corner and the two McLarens. Going to see what they can do. Max is usually a little bit electric off the start, but hey, if anyone's going to give us a race, it's going to be the McLarens and the Ferrari here. Yeah, it looks like a lot of tyre smoke from a lot of the drivers.
Yeah.
Right, final race of the season, Sarah.
Yeah. Let's go.
All lights,
It's
five
lights out.
lights. Let's go.
And away we go.
Looks like Leclerc's got him.
Oh.
No, never mind.
No.
So no one seems to be willing to go wheel to wheel with Max anymore.
I suppose they know how aggressive he is that they're just like, oh, I want to survive.
Yeah.
I feel like we've technically had a record amount of races this season, but it went by so quickly. Yeah.
Oh, Leclerc is on the back of Max. We know what Max is like in defending, though. Oh, Leclerc's going for it. No, he's not through. He's not through. Max is going to the inside for the next corner. But Leclerc will be able to get a better exit. Leclerc backed out a little bit there, but he's going to have another run down to this next corner. So it's not over yet, and the McLaren's on the back of him. Ooh. Right, Leclerc's going to the outside. That's not where to pass. It looks like Leclerc's got a better front end at the moment. It looks like his front tyres are warmed up. Max is just not as confident on the fronts. But Max is good out of the corner.
Oh.
Okay, now Max's tyres look like they've got up to temperature now. Here he goes.
Yeah, he's like, all right, give me half a lap, and then I'm off.
Okay, that's the end of the race. Max is gone. That's race for P2.
Good night. Goodbye.
Otherwise, very little action throughout the rest of the field.
And everyone really close together at the moment.
Hamilton with the fastest lap of the race.
Woo.
Why do they bother for the first lap? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
See, one thing I don't like, and this is going to be recovering old wounds and whatnot, everyone gives Max space. Max gives no one else space, ever. There's an inconsistency there, isn't there?
A little bit.
At least
I've temporarily lost all power at my house, so I'm waiting for my internet to get the connection to come back and watch the race. Oh, Pedro.
Oh my.
Who do you reckon is coming out on top between Ferrari and Mercedes?
Ferrari.
Oh. Although saying that, if Mercedes can get some good points here, they stay in the points.
Yeah, but I think they're only 2 or 4 points behind Ferrari, and I think Leclerc's points are going to overrule Russell and Hamilton. Just at the moment, it's going to be close, but Sainz is still going to be coming through, of course.
Where's Lewis and Carlos at the moment? Carlos is 13th, and Lewis is 9th. Russell is 5th, and Leclerc is 2nd. DRS enabled.
Leclerc's coming at him. Leclerc's coming at Verstappen.
DRS seems powerful.
He didn't open it, though.
I like that, Nick. I like that.
He didn't open his DRS.
Oh.
Maybe he didn't bother, knowing he wanted to get it for the second part. That's odd. Or maybe he forgot. Now he's opened it.
Hopefully there's not an issue.
Yeah, but that was really odd. He could have opened that on the first straight, but he just didn't. Interesting. Yeah, look, if you look at the start, you can see Leclerc is down alongside Max, and Max just sweeps through. And he's fully entitled to do it. He had the race in line. But anyone else would have been chucking it up the inside. Well, I won't say anyone else. Max would have. That's where he's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
basically saying, get out of my way, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to Max. He's double or triple world champion, depending on your point of view, for a very good reason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying that he's one of the best drivers ever, including above Senna, even Lewis or Michael and Schumacher. So, I mean, he is absolutely on it every single weekend for the last 2-3 years. Without fail. Oh, okay. I think we might be seeing Hamilton getting a penalty for the turn 1 pass on Perez there.
Yeah.
I think he got the place back anyway. Yeah, and that's what Pedro says. Max is one with the car. One with the team. Apart from when he doesn't help Perez out. That was good racing from Piastri and Russell. Very, very fair.
Lando and Russell.
Or was it Lando? Oh, of course, he had bright, luminous helmet, should have guessed. Oh, okay. Lando's got past Piastri.
Yeah.
So, what seems to happen in the last few races? We saw it at Interlagos, we saw it at Vegas. People get close to Max, get to DRS, and then he suddenly disappears again.
Where is Yuki? He's P6 at the moment.
Holy hell. What's he doing there? Well, since they've had those Red Bull suspension updates, it's unlocked so much performance for that car. And then again, you see Danny Rick in 15th, so ooh.
Yes. Oh.
But then again, he's probably only about 5 seconds behind Tsunoda, so...
Yeah. And obviously how fine the margins are. Woo.
Now, are we going to see the McLarens get on the back of the Ferrari at any point?
Oh.
I'm saying it, he is not far away.
I'd say he's not too far away. Yeah, not too far.
What's your opinion on this track, Sarah? I mean, particularly with these additions, these changes they made in the last couple of years.
Alright. But not amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, it never brings the best racing, but it's always been home of a little bit of controversy, particularly, we know which year, which I'm not going to mention. It's like Voldemort, we don't mention it anymore.
Yeah.
But it's a spectacle. It's a bit like some of the races at the moment are... I'm not going to use Vegas as an exact correlation, but that was very much spectacle until the race, which was chaotic, which gives an interesting one. But there are a lot of races like this now where you get much more in the surrounding of the Grand Prix than the Grand Prix itself.
Yeah.
The track is... I like the track, but I could easily see it not being a highlight of many people's year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's kind of like it's just there.
I feel we should probably do a top... We should make a calendar of our own, hypothetical tracks, and see how they compare. Like, say an 18 or 20 race calendar, and hypothetically we would put out our own calendars and say, what do you think?
Yeah. Sounds good. I'm just having a look at the Constructors' Championship there. If they finish where they are, Ferrari will beat Mercedes by 3 points.
I don't think Mercedes are going to be too bothered by that, if I'm honest. I can really see them not really caring that much.
They just want to throw that car in the bin again.
Yeah, I mean, also finishing one place lower means they get more aero time next year.
True.
So it's a benefit not to finish second.
True. If Yuki finishes there, AlphaTauri will be ahead of Williams in the standings.
Oh,
2021 aside, I can't remember any races we've had here. True. Ferrari would finish ahead of Mercedes by 3 points as it stands. That's what I just said.
I can remember 2012 when Alonso was stuck behind Petrov. I think it was 2012 for the entire race and lost the championship. As we see, Piastri gets challenged by Russell. That was nearly a good pass. And the other one would be 2016 where Rosberg beat Hamilton for the title, and Hamilton was holding up the Rosberg trying to get him passed by the Ferraris. That's it. That's the only ones I can remember other than 21.
Yeah. Oh, I'm buffering at the moment.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
Danny Rick saying he might have a tear off, which has come from either his car or another car, which has gone in his brake ducts, so he might be struggling with a bit of heat issues. So saying that he's gone in the pit, so maybe he's going to get that cleared out. Turn 7 incident involving Zhou and Albon noted, forcing another driver off the track. Okay. Okay, so Russell is challenging Piastri. He's still on him. It looks like Piastri has lost the DRS to Norris and he's now vulnerable.
Does it cause much interference with your stream if I came out and then back in?
No, it's fine. Okay, so... Oh, that was quick. So we have Sargent and K-Mag also noted forcing another driver off the track. So there's a few of these incidents going on. We're seeing K-Mag obviously pit as well. You alright, Sarah?
My thing's buffering. I can see you now.
Okay. There you go.
I can see it now. I can see clearly now.
The buffering is gone. I'll just turn down the resolution for you a little bit.
Thank you.
Clearly having technical issues as always, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
Perez!
always
Almost into the back
us.
of Gasly. Sorry.
I can see clearly now. Midnight's gone.
Thanks. Russell running outside of Piastri. Not quite.
Woo.
Ooh, Piastri's placing his car nicely. I mean, it looks like Russell keeps getting alongside by the time they get out of the DRS and then onto the brakes, and Piastri's just sitting on the apex.
Yeah, just like, no, you're not getting past me.
Yep. You too, Nick. Much love to you, man.
Does anybody love me?
Well, someone's got to, I suppose.
I mean, I don't blame them if they don't.
We all love you, Sarah. It's all good.
Love you all too. Saying that, the fight between Piastri and Russell is letting Tsunoda come up on the back of them.
It is, and he's bringing Alonso, Gasly, Perez, Hamilton, Ocon, and Stroll with him.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's
no further investigation.
investigation. It looks like there's a couple of investigations and forcing off the track noted incidents at the moment.
Maybe Mama Hawkey. Maybe.
Hamilton at the moment is complaining he doesn't have the pace to get past Perez and all that. But that is a problem with this circuit. I mean, Russell's experiencing it at the moment. It is despite the long DRS, it is difficult to pass around here.
Yeah.
It's one of those Herman Tilke circuits where it's always, particularly in some of the corners, it's a long, high-speed corner followed by a straight, which means you have the opportunity to catch up to someone at the end of the straight, sort of, but it's always after a high-speed corner, which Red Bull are good at and whatnot. So it's hard to follow. So, admittedly, we've got that big hairpin down into before the first DRS zone. That kind of works, I feel, but it's always at the arse end of the first sector, which is a high-speed left-right, where the pit lane exits. So it's there, but it's not there. It's always difficult around here. And hi, Nick. He's run away to my stream for 5 minutes.
To be fair, I don't blame you, Nick.
Ooh.
I'm having some difficulties.
Oh, bless you. Okay, Piastri is locked up into the hairpin. Now Russell's going to get a big run on him now. Piastri's going to have to use all of his battery to try and stay ahead now. Russell's got him. He's been trying to do that for the last 5 or 6 laps. Now, what will be an insult to injury is if Piastri now comes straight back at past him. We're predicting a 1 stop here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a simple DRS pass for Russell in the end.
Yeah, I was just listening that when obviously he locked up into that turn, he was out of position. So if he didn't lock up, he might still be in front. But obviously,
I'll tell you what.
Can't always help locking up.
I'll tell you what. Look on the back of him. Sonoda's coming at him.
Yeah, Sonoda. Where did you come from?
The only complaint I've got from McLaren...
Where did you go?
Yeah. The only complaint I've got from McLaren at the moment, and it's not a big one at all, is Piastri seems to struggle in terms of longevity compared to Norris on a set of tyres. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's his rookie year. He's always not going to be quite the same level as... I mean, let's face it, Russell's now a bit of a veteran. He's been here for 3 or 4 years. Like
Russell?
That. Norris, sorry. Norris, sorry. That's because I was looking at
Norris. Is it 4 or 5 years? 2019. So that's...
Jeez, it is as well, isn't
4
it?
years. 5 years. Oh, I don't know. I'm not good at maths, alright?
Yeah, it's either way, 4 or 5 years. Either way, yeah, he's now a bit of a veteran, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, same with Russell, and who else came with him?
Albon would have been there or thereabouts.
Albon obviously had a year out, so he's 1 year less than Russell and Norris.
And Tsunoda's now 3 or 4 years.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's my only mild complaint about Piastri. He sort of dwindles on the length of a Grand Prix. Alonso's in the pits. I'm so good with seeing... I was worried for Norris at like the end of last year. I didn't say much about it. But I was worried that he'd not peaked. It's the wrong word for it. But wasn't going to discover his true potential. But he does seem to be... Particularly this year, he seems to be strong a lot more weekends. He's only sort of his real downside is qualifying.
Yeah, and he gets so hard on himself, though. Did you hear some of the interviews yesterday?
No, I didn't. Wow.
Well, it's just like he's basically saying that he ruined another Saturday for himself, and it ruined his whole day, and like, because obviously he made that slight mistake, and it made him go into P5. But he was quite hard on himself. But I suppose in this sort of sport, you have to be a perfectionist. Because of how small the margins are from like first to last.
Yeah. And they're obviously naturally measuring themselves against Max, who's just not making these mistakes.
Yeah.
Who used to make them. Now he doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so race at the moment is a little bit static, but it is still close at the front. We still only have 1.7 seconds between Max and Leclerc.
Oscar's spitting.
Yep. I called it though. I did say his tyres would probably go off first. So, yeah, Norris is only 3 seconds behind Leclerc as well. So they're not a million miles away from each other. There's only a good couple of tenths a lap at most between Max and the others. So
I've got to say, I really like the job of the guy that's like, you know, that he's like waiting for the car to come in, and he's just there like.
I can't see your picture, so I'm not going to know what you're doing.
He's got his arms out, you know, like you're like, whoa, waiting for the car. I like his job.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for the tyre. I'm waiting for the tyre. Got the tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. Uh-oh. So is that Alonso on the back of Piastri? It is.
It is, yes.
So, okay, Alonso's had a big undercut. So what he's done, he's spitted a few laps ago. Piastri's locked up again.
Whoa.
There's an actor called Matt Berry who makes that noise a lot. I'm going to have to show you a clip later on. But okay, the undercut looks very powerful here because Alonso was a long way behind Piastri at the pit stops.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. We might see Russell's doing it now. We're going to see a lot of people jumping in the pits and trying to undercut the people in front of them. It looks very
Norris
powerful.
is pitting as well.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see Leclerc in the next lap and maybe Verstappen too.
Oh, slow stop from McLaren. Slow stop.
Oh, unsafe release. No, they've just got away with it. But 5.1, that's going to drop him behind Piastri and Alonso, I think. And Russell.
That was very slow.
Yeah, it's dropped him behind Russell at the very least. Okay, so Norris is locked up. Right, that's what happened. Oh, okay, no, he's got away with it, but he has come out behind Russell.
Yeah, he lost a place there.
That's not too bad. He can come back at Russell straight away.
Factoid, Aston has the highest straight line speed without DRS, but their DRS is so bad that once it's open, they are the slowest team.
Really? That's interesting. Pedro, can you do the graphics for F1 and give us factoids like that, please? Because I like those facts. I'm gonna call
I like them.
I'm going to call that fact of the season. Haha, we're the fastest. Wait, no, we're not.
Yeah, just don't open the DRS at all.
Yeah, we're going to ban DRS. Woohoo!
Woo!
Okay, so what happens with Hamilton here? Oh, Hamilton almost into the back of the Alpine, who locked up. There's a little bit of diffuser damage for the Alpine, I think. That I would not put that down to Hamilton's fault. That's a racing incident.
Yeah.
Gasly was a little bit out of control, and he would not have. Hamilton was no way you could have expected that.
Well, Hamilton's just come in.
It looks like he's jumped Gasly in the pits as well, or Ocon. I'm still not bitter about Ocon at Las Vegas.
His AI just seems to be crazy.
It does. I mean, I showed you that clip. He really put me in the wall, didn't he?
I got yeeted by Hulk yesterday.
You did. I got yeeted by signs. Not in the same manner as you. Yours was worse.
But I also saw how F1 babies are myth.
You did.
If anyone didn't see that, I think there's a couple of clips have been made out of it.
Yeah. Our pre-GPs are legendary for lots of high octane antics and shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay, Max is in. Leclerc has stayed out. That's interesting. I like it when Ferrari do an alternative strategy. Problem is, it doesn't ever seem to work. So Leclerc has
Oh,
gone to hard tyres. I think, yeah, okay.
has Hamilton broken his front wing again?
He has. He's got a front end plate damage. It might be alright because it's only on a slight angle, but it will lose him a little bit of downforce.
Hmm.
Might just get away with it.
Right, so this is the Lando Norris stop that was very slow.
Okay. It was the rear left. They couldn't tighten it down.
Well, I suppose it's that thing, isn't it, that we're so used to McLaren being super fast that when they're not, it's just surprising.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, they have been the surprise of the year for me, in a very good way.
Yeah.
And what we're thinking about the year, who's been sort of disappointment of the year for you in terms of teams? And I don't want to sort of go for a negative. I think we need a bit of balance here. What do you feel?
Sorry, say that again. I was just looking at Leclerc pitting.
Yeah.
Stroll into second.
I completely missed that. Tsunoda leading.
Tsunoda leading, yeah.
Yeah, right. Which sort of team has been sort of disappointment of the year for you? Sort of on balance.
Ooh, disappointment of the year. I'm gonna say Mercedes.
I'd say that's a very, very valid opinion. I was thinking they're going to be saying that about themselves.
As much as I like Mercedes, I feel like that car's still not amazing.
No.
And it's like, obviously, is it the second year of the new rule set?
It is.
You'd think for like a top team, they would have, like the other teams have this year, they would have found something to unlock that potential in the car. And they just haven't really.
I'm with you on that. And the reason why they haven't, they went down a concept of zero side pods, amongst other things, early. We're going to say just this year, for instance. And because of the budget, they couldn't redesign the car. And they're still carrying the same problem they had in the first race, to some extent. Next year is when they're going to have to either unlock their potential or not. I'm not surprised they haven't recovered it this year. But with their own expectations and our expectations of them, I will agree with you. And I'm also going to agree with Pedro because I was thinking the same thing. Alpine. It's just meh.
Had a few races where they were like, oh, quite surprising.
Yeah.
But for the majority of races, they've not been anywhere really. And it always seems to be that if Gasly's in front of Ocon, he always gets asked for Ocon to let Ocon by. So
Ocon's been there for a number of years, hasn't he? So he tends to be very. It's not my team, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Max has got past Sainz. I'm still surprised that Ferrari didn't pit Leclerc earlier than Max to try and jump him. That seems like a tactical blunder by Ferrari.
Maybe.
I don't think they're going to... They could get these tyres to do 30-odd laps, but I wouldn't want to. I wonder... It's interesting seeing the AlphaTauri out in the lead and not pitting. It looks like they're going for a very alternative strategy with Tsunoda. I'm liking this.
Yeah.
So maybe a couple of teams are going for 2 stops, a couple of teams are going for 1 stop. It's interesting when we see a difference in strategy. As we look at Franz Tost, who is the AlphaTauri team leader. I think he's retiring this year.
Yeah, it's his last race.
Oh, bless him. He's been there for, like, I think since... Do you know what? I don't know when. He's been there for years. And yeah, Pedro, I would say Yuki's on a one stop, definitely. I'm not sure about the other ones, but we'll see. That old Yuki's just
We
waiting for
shall
a
see.
safety car. Okay, so Perez has the fastest lap at the moment. Everyone bar Yuki is on hard tyres.
Mm-hmm.
As Alonso comes through past Bottas. He's been anonymous this year, Bottas, hasn't he?
Yeah. To be fair, that Alfa Romeo is shocking. Oh, talking about AlphaTauri, have you heard what their apparent name is going to be next year?
I have, but I'll let you explain it.
I saw that AlphaTauri will be renamed to Racing Bulls, and their primary colours will be silver and blue.
So the same silver and white, blue and white, really.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. They've admitted the AlphaTauri branding hasn't worked, which is fine. And I heard they were looking at moving a lot of the stuff as Leclerc makes his way past Sainz, which is fair. They've said they might be moving a lot of their infrastructure from Italy next to or on the same campus as the main Red Bull site, which is logistically fair. I don't know why they still have one in Italy anymore.
Yeah.
As long as all intellectual material from both teams is separate and monitored, because that is against the rule book.
Nick's first Japanese race leader since 2004.
Sato or Kobayashi?
I don't know. It would have been free.
I was asking Nick because I knew you wouldn't know.
Oh no.
Sato. There's very few Japanese drivers that have made a real impact in the sport in the last 20, 30 years. We've had drivers like Nakano, and do you know, I can't remember any others at this exact second. But yeah, Sato and Kobayashi were two that I actually enjoyed watching. Kobayashi was always known as Kobayashi because he would just yeet people into the braking zones and somehow get past. He was great to watch.
Sounds it.
He was. He was like, no one's going to pass there. Yeet, what? E-Day. Yeah, I remember E-Day. It's more a political thing. I always seem to see a lot of Japanese drivers. They come with political and financial influence. They end up in teams but they probably shouldn't be in. Up until recently, I have thought that about Tsunoda, but today he seems to be doing very well. So I'm going to hold that opinion.
Did you see what Toto said on the radio?
No, what did he say?
It says, you're the second quickest car. You're quick.
To who? To Russell?
To Lewis.
Maybe he's in 13th.
That's what I'm saying. And Lewis just came back and said, thanks, Toto.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Toto.
Okay, there goes Tsunoda. Stroll and Tsunoda are both in. Okay, so that's going to at very least give Tsunoda a big offset. He must be going for a one stop.
Maybe. Can he last that long, though?
I would say so. 23 laps on the mediums compared to 30. It's going to be interesting, actually, isn't it? But yeah, that has dropped Tsunoda down to... I don't see where. Where is he? I've lost him.
12th.
12. There he is. He's going to have... he'll have Bottas fairly quickly, and then he'll be on the back of Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Called it. There goes Sonoda on Bottas straight away. It looks like Alfa Romeo are still running the Las Vegas livery.
They are, yes.
Seems odd.
And I believe AlphaTauri are as well. From what I've seen.
Signs in
McLaren have got a new livery for this week.
Have they?
Well. Yeah, just a bit more colourful on the sides.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. I know I sound like a grumpy old man all the time, but why do they keep changing the liveries?
Make it look fancy.
It used to be, I'm not trying to be nostalgic here, it used to be they had the same livery all year. The occasional one-off, literally the clue was in the title, one-off. And it would be the same for the helmet, so it was good for all of the crowd to see who was in the car and whatnot, and they could recognise them, but that's out the window now.
Agent Hawkeye on the case. Pew, pew, pew. I think they have to. Am I right in thinking that they did it last year? That McLaren have to change a sponsor's name because it's something to do with vaping or smoking or e-cigarettes.
I recall something about it, yeah.
And they have to change the sponsor's name to say something else or something. From what I remember. Or is that wrong? I can't remember.
I recall something like that, so it sounds right, Sarah. Nick has asked, do you remember what Bar tried to do? Sarah, can you give us an insight on that?
Bar?
Mm-hmm.
What?
British American Racing. You know that very famous team? So I've got you on that one. I know I have. BAR, which was a team in the late 90s, early 2000s, which turned into Honda, then into Braun, then into Mercedes. They tried to run with, I think it was Zonta and Villeneuve, a dual livery. So two cars with two different liveries. Completely different liveries. One was blue and one was white, basically. And then in the end, the FAA went, you're not allowed to do that. So all they did was cut both liveries in half and jam them together. Seriously, what they did.
I think you have told me that before.
Probably.
But my brain is just like, yep, nope, over my head.
I did that on purpose, sorry.
McLaren has been changing the livery at Abu Dhabi for a few years now as an initiative to promote unrepresented artists. Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
Okay. I mean, if it's got a cause, I quite like that.
Yeah. Oh, saying that, we've still got to watch that.
Yes, that'd be good. That'd be good. I'll make a note.
Because, you know, there's nothing else at Disney.
That could be some of our winter content.
Yeah, well, better watch it soon because Disney's hiking their prices up. And I don't watch it much. I'm gonna watch a documentary, and if there's nothing else that keeps me there, then
they posted record losses recently. Shocker.
It's because they hiked their prices up.
That and I'm not going to go too political. There's the whole woke agenda thing with Disney at the moment that's causing them mega losses, but I don't want to go into that too much.
We've got 97 days to watch it. Okay.
Oh, I better do it in 96 days then.
Yeah, cram it all in one day.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's only 4 episodes from what I've seen.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like one big documentary. Okay.
No.
Okay. So Lewis has been told he's the fastest car on track. So he's actually into 8th. And I saw a graphic a minute ago saying that Mercedes are going to be ahead of Ferrari at the end. Lucky this is his fastest car on track, but Perez has got the fastest lap.
Yeah.
The Alpine front wing looks like it's collapsed with the way they got the graphics on it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ricardo's got out of the way of Sonoda. Ricardo's oddly absent this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, a couple of teams that are completely absent this weekend are Haas and Williams and Alfa Romeo. But saying that,
Yeah.
Sainz is in P16 still. He's having a
I think
terrible race.
Oh, he's not pitted yet, has he?
No, he's pitted twice, I think.
Has he? I don't think he has.
Or maybe just one. He's definitely pitted. I saw him sneak in a minute ago.
Oh. We did have that crash in practice session.
True. I mean, he's going to have a fresher engine than most people after that Vegas incident.
But Nick, have you watched the documentary yet? If so, what do you think about it? Sainz pitted for another set of hards 3 laps ago. Oh, okay.
Called it. Oh, there you go. Now
That's
he's
where he
P15.
went.
Woo, he's moved up.
Good.
Actually, no. I'm angry
Good.
with Sainz of what he did to me yesterday.
But he's your teammate.
I know, and be it AI or human, my teammate always yeets me on F123.
True. Some have said that that this is what DTS should have been, and I would agree with that. Okay, Nick, I like your insight.
I'll tell you what, we were very critical of DTS, weren't we? We did say there was a lot of drama out of nowhere for no reason and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
we did watch all the DDS last year, but
we've had technical issues one way or the other.
Yeah,
and that's the best.
maybe we'll do when it comes out. Maybe we'll try again. But yeah, I mean DTS it's less about the racing action. It's more about all the behind the scenes and, like you say, drama out of nowhere.
Hissy fits.
Hissy fits. More about the drivers. So
yeah, making a story out of literally nothing. It was what Ricardo. Well, no, not Ricardo. Yeah, Ricardo versus Norris. It's like they're fairly harmonious.
Although, from what I remember, I did have a massive rant about, because Midnight asked me a question. It's like, if you're a fan of the sport but you've come through DTS, like, I can't remember the question, but we basically were talking about that for a good while, and I was saying that if it brings more people into the sport, that's fine, but I feel like people shouldn't make a stereotype of DTS fans, because they're coming in from a slightly different perspective, but it's still fans of the sport. And then if they then go on to then do some research about Formula One and get a little bit more involved and actually go and watch the real races, either online or in person, it just kind of benefits the sport a little bit more. So increased numbers of people watching or increased numbers of fans doesn't hurt the sport at the end of the day. It will be the people that make the stereotypes that will hurt the sport.
Yeah,
Rant over, good night, goodbye.
No, it's a fair point. I'm just thinking about it.
I've got to say, I really like Danny Rick's helmet. That blue is just...
It works in the night, doesn't it? Under the lights.
Yeah.
Okay, race so far. Max, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Perez, Piastri. Kind of very old, sort of static at the top there, aren't they?
They are at the moment.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much, and apart from the opening 2 or 3 laps from Leclerc, any sort of challenge to Max.
I hate that graphic, like you. Why do we need to know the striking distance? Like, what's that? What is it really useful for?
The DTS fans.
No, but it's like in 3 laps time, he might be behind him. He might not be.
Yeah.
In 3 laps time, we could have a safety car. Like,
no, we won't. We haven't got Latifi anymore. Oh, do you know what? I'd like to see the stats actually.
Aww, look what Dad just said. Aww.
Welcome, Hawkey's dad.
Thank you. Why did I do the same as you? I was just like...
You didn't, did you?
No, I did. I was just like that.
Right.
Thanks, Dad. To be fair, the race is a bit... Racing action today hasn't been that amazing. We're mostly just talking about random shit.
It has happened.
Talking about, that's a really nice sunset.
Yeah, it says a lot about the racing today. We're looking at the sunset rather than the action.
I'd love to race it, like,
Ooh,
when the sun's setting.
a twilight race, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be. Round Brands Hatch,
Ooh.
that would do me.
Can you imagine them putting that infrastructure in? That would be...
They do, I think they have had a few races at night. It's like a specific event that I think they have to get permission for.
Of course, yeah.
And stuff.
I mean, it's something that classic British tracks in a populated area have to really seek permission for. Whereas like in Abu Dhabi and other F1 countries like this, it's like we're in the middle of the desert. Who cares?
Yeah, because for some people, they buy a house next to a racetrack and then they wonder why it's so noisy. It's like,
I live next to an airfield which has been here for 100 years. It was used in D-Day in World War II and all that sort of thing, and there's still Spitfires and all flying out of there, and seriously, and helicopters and air sea rescue and all that sort of thing, and people still move to the area and go, "Oh, why are there airplanes here? There's an airfield.
Yeah, why is it
there.
so noisy?"
It's been here longer than you've been alive. Go away.
Yeah, you think they'd use the common sense, but
Yeah,
nah.
Well, it wakes me up at night.
Yeah, no, we don't need 24 hours of Le Mans. We need 24 hours of Brands Hatch.
Ooh.
I'd do that.
I don't know. Stint.
I'll do a stint. I don't think I could do 24 hours of just solid driving. I could try, but I'd be tired.
Yeah, a stint's enough for me.
Yeah.
Danny Rick in the pits. Yeah, I'm just going to finish a very quick point before I forget it. I'd like to see the stats of how many safety cars we've had this year compared to past years with Latifi in them.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think it's been as many.
Funny enough.
It's not like our pre-GPs where we have like a safety car literally every race.
Did we have one last night? No, we had one, two.
Oh, hello, Mum. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very kind of you both.
Hi,
you can join. You can come in and say hello if you want to.
Bring her a sandwich.
It should be Group 4, Group 3 cars. Yeah. I was gonna say,
Group 4, definitely.
I've watched it used to be called the Blanc Pang, I can't remember. But it used to be, I think, the GT3 cars around Brands Hatch, and from what I remember, it was quite good. I think it's changed names now. I can't remember. I think it is literally just like the GT3 European Series or something. But and I think that's what Valentino Rossi was doing last year.
Oh,
Tempted to go back and watch that.
Alpine in the pits. Gasly has decided he's had enough of those hard tyres. So we are seeing more two stops than I thought we were going to, by the way.
They don't disturb the show. They can if they want to.
LMP1 around Brands.
I don't think they would survive. I don't think those cars would survive around there. I mean, I'd love to see a Formula 1 car as well go around Brands Hatch.
Yeah,
but
nice.
It's not. I don't think it's this generation of F1 cars. I don't think that first paddock hill, like,
ooh, yeah,
that would kill the cars. Yeah, kaboom.
Yeah, these F1 cars with the ground effect, they wouldn't work around Brands, would they?
No. They do some demoing around there, like
Mm.
from like old school F1 cars, but
We do some
no.
demoing around there.
Well, you do, yeah. I used to.
Yeah. Oh, good times. Okay, looks like we have... Is that Norris? Who's number 4? Is that Norris?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the pit. So we are seeing a lot more 2-stops here. The race might pick up a little bit here, because I think that will mean Norris jumps Russell if he gets a good undercut. So that's going to be a very...
Well, if his wheel comes off this time.
Well, it's going to be very interesting for the Mercedes boys, because they're going to want to be ahead of Norris for the P2 in the championship.
Yeah, apparently if Mercedes finish where they are now, they will beat Ferrari by like, I think like 2 points.
Yeah, the graphic keeps coming up.
Something silly like that. Yeah, I keep missing it, and I'm like, missed it.
Well, either way, Sainz is still in 12th, so he's having a poor race.
Yeah, I think they cut to him a minute ago when he was going around the corner, and there was no grip on the set of hard tyres he was on. But the hards have lasted a lot less laps than I thought they would around here.
Same. Considering you keep
Usually
23 laps on the mediums.
And so usually they're the tyre to go to, just like one stop. Yeah, you're fine. You can finish the race on hard tyres. It doesn't matter how many laps you got left.
Yeah.
Like, you'll finish it.
I remember in the older set of tyres, Russell's coming in to try and ward off the undercut from Norris. But a few years back in 2014-15, Rosberg at Sochi pitted on lap 1, and went the rest of the race on a set of hard tyres. True.
Yeah, just get that like tyre change out the way, done.
Yeah. Well, he flat spotted his tyres on the first lap, and he's went, I'll just go to hard tyres for the rest of the race.
Yeah.
And he still finished P2.
Nice.
I mean, those tyres were so durable in 14-15 that they could literally push the entire race on a set of tyres.
Russell came out in front of Norris.
He has, but Norris is going to have DRS.
Yes, true.
And for those that don't know, DRS is the what, sir?
What would you want me to tell you what it is?
Yep.
Is it drag reduction system?
That's the one. Which opens that rear wing and gives them a little bit less drag. I'll drop you in there.
I don't know if you've heard F1 have started doing like wrong answers only on their TikTok.
Oh,
and
God.
They get the drivers to say like, right, so what's like DRS? And then some of them say, like Norris said yesterday, don't rest, stupid.
Right.
So that's what, when you said that, my brain just went to that because it's the last thing I heard. But it's quite funny. He's like, it's like, where's the British Grand Prix held? And he went, Brands Hatch.
Nice. Oh. Pedro, what was the first part of that comment? 'Cause I've missed that. Didn't the same thing happen here in 2010 or 11? Petrov held up Alonso for the entire race after pitting on hards. Yeah, right, tyres, yeah. Yes, Petrov... Because it was so hard to pass around here, Alonso just couldn't get past it, lost in the championship that year. I want to say it was 2012. It could be 2011, to be brutally honest. I don't remember which year.
Did you see who just got the fastest lap there?
Yep. But we do have Russell behind Stroll, who's going to have DRS as well. So don't rest stupid.
Has Stroll pitted? He must have.
He has, yeah, recently.
Yeah. So he was on that hard tyres from the start.
Well, has he pitted recently? Either way, he has pitted, yes.
I feel like Lando's going to have to get past Stroll as soon as he can.
Yep. Max. Okay, so he's coming in 3 seconds soon. You can box check ahead of me if you want, he's saying.
Well, he's that far ahead. He's just like, yep, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, like, is Max actually being nice to his teammate? What? This is unusual. Is he alright? Is he feeling okay?
Maybe he's softening a little bit in the last couple of months. Or maybe he's just
What? Because
realised he's so far ahead
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Okay, so
Alonso's in the pit.
Norris has not gotten past Stroll very well. That's held him up.
Yeah.
Alonso's in the pit again. Piastri's pitted as
Yuki's
well.
up into P3.
He is. I would be betting he's going to try and go the whole race on that.
No, I mean,
one
I wouldn't
stop.
blame him. If you can, go for it. If you can't, obviously. I reckon he's still on for some solid points, so.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get past by Leclerc, Russell, and Norris, but he can fight the rest, I would imagine. Oh, here we go.
Why is Gasly so far back?
Hamilton Alonso. He has pitted for his second time. I do know that much. But, yeah.
That could explain it. That could very much explain it.
Oh, Alonso's coming back at Hamilton. And these two have previous. They will have a fight.
Yeah. Max Verstappen.
Leclerc on the back of Tsunoda, who is basically the devil behind him plus 1,000th of a second. Alonso is really complaining at the moment, but being fair to him, that car in the first couple of races was epic. And it's just not been anywhere near the same performance for 3/4 of the remaining last half of the season.
I'm back.
I wonder where you were.
My internet just went.
Right.
Refresh the stream, guys. Refresh the stream. It wouldn't be the end of the season without my internet just going.
I've had enough. I'm taking a break.
Yep.
Always seems to strike during the podcast, doesn't it?
I know. Like, come on. Do they not know that? Like,
Well, Alonso.
I just need it to work on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, Alonso was just complaining about having the slowest car on the track, and do you know what he's just done? He's passed Hamilton.
We're back. Well, I forgot my train of thought. I was going to say something before my internet just went.
Yeah, I'll come
But
to you
now,
later.
in my brain, it's gone. It's gone.
It'll come to you later.
I can't even remember what I was going to say. Or what it was about. Or anything.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. But apparently, hopefully, we've got a new broadband thing where they've sent like an amplifier thing for upstairs, which I am upstairs. So hopefully, my internet will actually be better when my dad sets it up.
That'd be good. Especially if you're still working off Wi-Fi. Oh,
Ooh.
Ferrari and Mercedes on matching. No, 1 point ahead now.
Yeah. Woohoo! 1 point in it with 18 laps to go.
In all honesty, if I were Mercedes, I wouldn't be too worried about that. I'd want the extra aerodynamic time in the tunnel. Finish third.
Yeah, but I suppose it's that thing. They haven't won a race, but they're still second. Like, if that's the case, like, it shows that they're consistent, but they're not fast.
I'd be just willing to bid them this year off if I was them.
Hmm.
Oh, three-way fight between the Alpine, McLaren, and Ferrari.
Mm.
Poor Alpine lost
Ferrari.
2 positions in one corner.
Oh.
I'm not that worried, it was Ocon.
Yeah. Not burying the hatchet there, are we?
No. Well, you saw what he did to me. It's like, oh, I'm going to put you in the wall. Yay!
Yo.
It's not the first time either. Oh, dear.
Yeet.
Other than that, who do you think's having a really good race today, all things considered? There was a couple of drivers, one in particular. I know.
Yuki.
Yeah, he's the number one, I feel. The other one, Russell.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd back Russell, but I feel like he's just like, he's always around there somewhere. So I'm just kind of used to looking down and being like, oh yeah, there he is. Oh, I remembered what I was going to say.
Oh, hit me.
You know, like Las Vegas Grand Prix, we woke up at 6 a.m.
Yep.
We didn't have a lot of sleep.
I didn't.
I was like, yeah, you didn't sleep. I didn't have a lot of sleep. And I woke up like, and I was basically just like the whole race. For some reason I skipped through because I wanted to show Mum like, oh look who was the flag waver, because it was Justin Bieber. And I was saying like thingy, and I managed to skip to a part of my stream that I didn't even realise that I did. But I've like half asleep. I haven't put any energy into it, and I've just sat there and gone, do Max Verstappen, and then I'm like so asleep, like I'm just like, and it, I didn't put any effort into it, and that literally it made my mum sit there and like laugh for like 5 minutes. She was like, "You sound so." You sound so asleep, so bored, and like you're ready to go back to bed. And I was like, I didn't mean to. I don't think I even remember saying it. That's the thing.
That was when your intrusive thoughts took over.
Yeah, no, but apparently like, I was just sat here, just like, do. Max Verstappen. So.
Oh, that's made me giggle. That really has.
Yeah, apparently when I'm half asleep, I'll just say random things and not remember.
Oh, that was good though. It's one of those where you really should watch back your own streams to see what you do and you go, what the hell was I thinking?
Well, my mum was like sat there like just giggling for like a good half an hour, and I'm just like, I wasn't awake, alright, Mum. Like I wasn't.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, there goes Norris passing Sonoda.
And she keeps winding me up because she didn't know the song beforehand, so I had to then show her what I was referring to half asleep.
Right.
And then all she keeps doing to me now, like every so often, yeah, she keeps going, like, no, but the way I did it, she keeps going, do. Max Verstappen. And I'm like, Mum, stop.
I'll tell you what, on track, there's a lot of passes going on at the moment. It's people making their way through after their second pit stop. Perez is coming in as well. I'm not going to be surprised if we see a very high finishing position for Perez at this point, because he's gone so long on those tyres. He's going to have super fresh tyres for the last stint of the race.
He just kind of appears there. It doesn't matter where he started, just appears there. Do. Sarah Hawking.
Okay. Kibura on YouTube. Hi. Anyone who is about, well, we're broadcasting this this podcast on both YouTube, my Twitch, and as well as the Miss Sarah Hawkey, who unfortunately haven't got a camera today, but we're broadcasting it there as well. So feel free to check us out. If you like what you see, like and comment on YouTube or follow on Twitch. Great to have you here. Feel free to discuss what you want about the Grand Prix, the year. We're kind of having a end of season sort of talk and chat and having a bit of fun. The Grand Prix itself is a little bit, it's not thoroughly interesting, but we're enjoying ourselves. So feel free to join in. Any thoughts and discussions and tips, points, and or factoids? We like them all. What's up?
I know. I was just doing thumbs up the whole time. I was like, yeah. Well, although we said it last year, we didn't really have the time last year, but we have the time now to actually, during the winter break, actually try and, like, for next year, make it bigger, better. Hopefully less, like, technical difficulties, although it wouldn't be, like, it wouldn't be us without some sort of technical difficulty. And I'd probably jinx myself again, but, you
Or
know.
the pair of us eating during the middle of a podcast.
I mean, that's just... all the F1 races seem to be in or around lunchtime. And, you know,
Being fair,
what's better than eating and watching cars go round and round?
So being fair with the schedule the way F1 is now, as Perez makes his way past Sonoda, it is generally at our lunchtime. Or breakfast.
Or breakfast, yeah. Depends. I'm not sure if you answered this, but what do you think Porsche will do next season since he won the F2 championship?
Oh, he's won it.
I don't know. I don't think we answered that. We must have accidentally not saw it, or something happened on screen that caught our attention. I don't know. Reserve driver or going to another race category, race discipline, or some sort of different category while he waits.
F1's weird at the moment because a lot of the drivers are there are on either on multi-year contracts or sort of just lingering around one way or another.
Talking about contracts,
Yes,
Sargent hasn't got a contract yet.
it is true, but it's one of those things. If they don't announce him going by the end of the season, typically they're going to keep him. I think he's going to be there. I mean, he's had a good couple of races. I'll give him that. I still don't think he is where he should be compared to someone like Piastri, who is miles ahead in the rookie scale.
Yeah, that's what I feel for him, because it's like, I feel for him, but I also don't, because it's like different levels to the rookiness. Is that we've got like a rookie like Piastri who's literally just got on and
Alonso on signs. Sorry.
So he's just got on with it and done it, and like he's battling with some of like the best drivers out there. And then you've got like a rookie like Sargent who's just not been able to.
He's battling with himself.
Yeah, battling with himself and the car. And obviously Nick Nick at the start of the season, he didn't get much chance. So yeah, I mean, when you're going up against another rookie like Piastri, it's always going to be tough. So maybe, hopefully, they give him another year. If not,
yeah, I mean, if they're going to give Yuki 3 years to try and get up to speed, then Sargent, okay, give him 2. I mean, he wasn't ready this year. I mean, that's just the sheer fact they jumped him in too early, I feel.
Potentially, yeah.
But Alonso is harrying the back of Sainz, by the way. So that's vital for the championship in P2. Now, I'm with you, I agree, but looking at Porsche,
yeah.
Who would you dump out of the F1 grid? I mean, most of them have contracts. There you go. There goes Alonso. He's done signs. He's going to come back at him in DRS.
Very nice. It was a good move.
Who would you dump out? I mean, a lot of people would say Stroll, but he's not going anywhere as long as his dad's in control.
Although saying that, apparently his dad sold like a $1 billion stake.
Stake isn't all of it though. If he's still CEO, don't matter. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know. Maybe potentially, as much as I love Bottas,
and he's picked.
I feel like Bottas either needs to go to another team, or I don't know, maybe take a few years off, relax, come back.
Well, Bottas is at that part of his career. If he goes away, he probably won't come back. That's just Jesse's age. He's right in that range where he hasn't achieved as nearly as much as he should have done. particularly when he was up against Lewis. And he's just... I mean, Joe's ahead of him at the moment. That tells you everything, doesn't it?
I'd either say either of the Alpha boys. I'd say maybe one of the Haas boys.
K-Mag's been disappointing this year. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Other than that, apart from Sargent, I think everyone else has kind of earned their place.
I would have said Sonoda right up until Mexico sort of time.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've always gone back to this debate of Sonoda.
Oh, contact.
Oh.
Perez.
Although he's going to have to give that up, isn't he? Because he did it off track.
Well, no. I think Norris was defending. I'm not. I think we're going to have to see that again. To be brutally honest, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah.
Hamilton on the back of Sainz as well. So this is vital for P2 in the championship. Sainz is going backwards. So it's, yeah, I think we're going to see Hamilton breeze past Sainz in a second. Oh,
Yep.
Oh. Do you know what? That is a cracking move.
Yeah. Round the outside.
Round the outside. Round the outside. Nice one. Lewis suddenly woken up in this race.
Even then, Aston will probably go for Drogovic if they don't want to go for another driver currently on the grid. You know what? I think Zhou is at risk for next season. He's been beaten 16-6 by Bottas in quali. Haas isn't going to go for another rookie, and Theo is a Sauber Academy driver, so I think it would make sense if he replaced Zhou or Bottas.
Or both.
Or both.
What's your view on that incident with Perez, Sarah? I kind of think Perez dive bombed him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does seem like a Red Bull passing method. Dive bomb people into the braking zone and trying to oof them out of the way. Always see it, don't we? It's always Red Bull. Yeah, thank you, Pedro.
Perez is way too optimistic, yeah.
He was like, I took my line. You jumped across the corner. You nerfed him off. Either way, I think Perez is past him now. Even if they give him a 5-second penalty for any of that, Perez is just going to disappear down the road.
Yeah.
If I was Russell, I'd be a bit worried right about now, knowing Perez is behind him. But that's again going to be vital for the championship because that's going to drop Russell points.
Oh my god, look how many points Red Bull will have.
I know. And that is with Perez underperforming this year.
Oh,
It says it all.
oh my god. Yeah.
Someone's... Are you listening to this? Apparently, the McLaren and Alpine pit crews are under investigation for not wearing eye protection.
Oh.
During the pit stops.
Oh. But what would that mean?
Team fine?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Hulkenberg's heading backwards again. Albon's just got past him. Do you know what? In the last 3 or 4 years, the biggest disappointment for me has been the Haas team. Literally the biggest. Because they went from challenging for podiums to dropping to the back of the grid repeatedly. But they always seem to have a goodish qualifying car to get into Q3. And then in the race, 16 and 20th. It just happens so often, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, other than that, the outright pace for Red Bull in the last 5 or 6 races, particularly, hasn't been great. But I do feel Max is pacing himself because
Yeah, he's just chilling.
he's only ever 10 seconds ahead of the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just pacing themselves. I feel. I do feel that the car is nowhere near as dominant as the stats would believe. If you go back far enough, I mean, I saw a TikTok literally last week which said the most dominant car of F1 history, and it went back to 1992 when it was that era of active suspension and all the gizmos on the car, ABS and all that sort of thing.
Incident involving Verstappen, Sargent, and Zhou noted pit stop infringement.
It's probably the same thing again, isn't it?
I don't know.
We'll find out in a minute. But yeah, when you go back to 92, I mean, Mansell at one point used to finish 30 seconds ahead of his teammate repeatedly that year. And then that was a lap ahead of most of the other people. So,
yeah,
relatively speaking, the Red Bull is nowhere near as dominant as that. But they're so consistent, it's frightening.
Yeah.
Oh! Okay. Perez has got a 5-second penalty. Maybe a bit harsh.
Maybe.
But, okay, if you look at the Turn 1 incident for Max and Leclerc at Vegas, that's consistent.
I suppose, yeah.
So that would make Russell feel a lot better. Even if Perez gets past, he's going to have to get 5 seconds down the road. But Norris is going to have to stay within 5 seconds of Perez to get P4.
Mm-hmm.
But it's promising to see Leclerc and Russell, particularly in the same shot. So the performance of those two cars is quite close.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next year. Hopefully Mercedes can actually bring a car out that's winner contending. Because as you said, it's the first time in a long time they haven't won a race. And this season, which would be since I think 2012. Not sure it was that year or the year after they won their first race.
Yeah. Pedro said, I love how Haas is so critical of Andretti joining, as they have questions about what they can add to the sport, and then proceed to consistently finish towards the last places in the constructors.
Yeah. Oof. I tell you, when you see it from that angle, yeah, Perez definitely caused a crash.
Yeah.
That angle was horrible.
I'm
surprised.
Are you seeing the standings for the Drivers' Championship? Yes.
What,
we
Max
did.
having more points than the next 3 drivers put together?
Yeah. Apparently, from what I've heard as well, Russell has to finish third for that 2-point finish ahead of Ferrari. So if Perez does end up finishing in front of him, they might lose it.
Well,
Charles would finish P4, 206 points. Lando P5, 205 points. And Alonso P6, 204 points. So they're literally they're a point away from each other.
Could you give us an update on the Williams AlphaTauri battle for points as well? Because I
think it just popped up, but we just missed it.
Oh, I wasn't looking. Because I'm watching Alonso zone in on Tsunoda as well, which is bringing Hamilton with him as well. So that could be Tsunoda dropping from 7th to maybe 9th. AlphaTauri is also 1 point behind Williams currently, or will be. So if that's the case, all he has to do is get 9th if it's 1 point currently. And Norris is 4.9 behind Perez now.
He needs to hurry up.
Did I say Russell Perez? Norris is 4.9 behind Perez. Either way, that's correct now. Yeah, Norris has not had the pace in this race particularly, but that's not really a big thing. As far as I'm concerned, that McLaren at the beginning of the season was terrible. So it's good to see that they're at least running 5th and 6th. Is way beyond what we thought was going to be happening this year for them, didn't we?
Yeah.
And they've had a sprint win with Piastri. I think they've had a pole with Norris. So the car's good.
Have they?
I think they did that in Interlagos. Or, no, it was P2.
Yeah, P2.
No, they did have a pole.
No.
They did have a pole because Norris went, oh, that was a terrible lap. You got pole. I went, what?
Wasn't that for the sprint race, though?
Might have been. But I'm classifying that as a pole. And there you go. Perez dives down the inside of Russell. Saw that coming. But now Russell's going to have to try and stay within 5 seconds of Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah, Piastri won at Qatar in the sprint race. I'll tell you what, Pedro, can you do us a little favour and look up one stat for us, please? The amount of safety cars in 2022 versus 23. I want to see that Latifi stat. Well, come on, it is.
I mean, we got 3 laps to go.
I mean, it is a Latifi stat.
True. Although I think towards the start of the season we did have a lot of yellow and red flags.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Alonso is coming up on the back of Tsunoda.
Wow.
Ferrari is going to be 1 point ahead of Mercedes. 1. And Hamilton's not going to catch these two. How much of that would have been... It would have been completely different if Russell had just finished in Singapore. Instead of hitting himself into the barrier on the final lap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing you can say about Ferrari this year. They've not been involved in too many silly incidents, just stupid strategy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and reliability for like Leclerc at Sao Paulo, engine dying on the formation lap, for instance. Alonso half second behind Tsunoda. That's a battle on track at the moment. But although Stroll on the back of Sainz as well. That's vital for the championship for P2. If Stroll gets Sainz, that'll make them equal on points. 2022, there were 39 caution periods during the 22 season, including 25 safety cars. 18. What?
Sainz has to pit again. He has to pit again.
Does he?
Yeah. He's been on hards, and then he went on hards. He's going to have to pit on the last lap for mediums. And he's going to lose at least 3 places.
That's dumb. That's why they've still got their helmets on. I'm saying it. That's a bit... That's the case. Yes, you are right. Oh, Ferrari. It could only be Ferrari, wouldn't it? Oh. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be F1. It wouldn't be 23. It wouldn't be F1 without Ferrari doing something dumb.
Have they just stuffed up their P2 in the championship for that?
I mean, does that points tally that we're looking at include?
I have no idea.
Well, this is what I'm going to ask. Is it going to include Perez's 5-second penalty, with Russell effectively being ahead
Oh.
of Perez.
Ferrari compromising themselves until the very end of the championship.
Yeah. Greatest battles in the world. Verstappen versus Hamilton. Alonso versus his team manager. Ferrari versus Ferrari. Saying that Hamilton's up to P9 and he's only 3 tenths behind Tsunoda. So if he gets DRS on the final lap, he could take the position off Tsunoda and get out of an extra point.
Yeah, and I'm just listening. They were what? Ferrari basically Leclerc basically said, "What's the gap between Checo and Russell? If it's less than 5 seconds, Leclerc will drop back for Perez to have slipstream to then put that gap bigger."
Perez is past Leclerc. What the hell? What is Ferrari doing?
He's tactically helping him to get that 5-second margin.
Why?
So that they finish in front. Although I don't think they realise that Sainz is that far back, and obviously Hamilton.
Why is Leclerc helping Red Bull? Has he got a secret contract for Red Bull next year? Who cares about Verstappen? He's just won. I don't care. What is Leclerc and Ferrari doing? Also, show us Hamilton Tsunoda. Show us Hamilton Tsunoda. Hamilton's past Tsunoda.
He took him.
For God's sake, F1.
Oh!
Every time. No, wait. Tsunoda's back through. What?
What?
What's going on?
He didn't take him then. Oh my god, that was so confusing. My poor brain.
What just happened?
I have no idea.
And Sainz is back in the pits.
It's because he didn't pit, has it? He didn't pit.
No, he pitted again on the final lap. My brain is melting. Oh, Hamilton missed his braking points. Yuki got him back on the corner.
Oh.
That's a mistake from Hamilton. So, okay, Hamilton has gone narrow on the corner. Yuki did the perfect thing there. He squeezed him legally. That is beautiful from Yuki. He's made it difficult for Hamilton, and Hamilton's overshot the corner. That is very clever racing from Tsunoda.
Yeah.
So what's that do for the Ferrari-Mercedes battle? Mercedes have taken second place.
Oh, Leclerc got right out of the way for him. I'm just watching the replay.
But can anyone answer for me why Leclerc was helping Red Bull try and...
To get the 5 seconds so that Mercedes didn't finish in front of Perez. But although that gap was still under 5 seconds, so Russell has got P3.
Yeah. I get what he was trying to do, but why?
For P2 in the championship.
Yeah, I know, but why does it matter for Ferrari? I know, okay, for his team. Right, no, because it's his team in P3. Right, okay, I'm with it now.
He gave up his position to try and help
Yeah.
Ferrari keep P2.
Right, now I see now. I thought he was helping Perez for something, but he's helping Perez to help himself. That makes more sense.
Mercedes finished in second.
Right, okay, I'm with it now. My brain was just having an absolute meltdown.
So, oh my god, like, that hurt my brain. Like, trying to figure out everything. It was just like,
The only thing Leclerc could have done is effectively stop on track and try and slow down Russell by more than 5 seconds from Perez. Are we going to get some donuts from Max? Oh, here we go. Donuts!
Woo!
No, there was a famous year, I think it was 2017 or 2018, we had Alonso, Vettel and Hamilton doing donuts on the pit straight here. That was the first time Alonso retired. Well, left the sport.
Nice.
Of course, now they're not particularly allowed to do the donuts because the teams are staying here for the young drivers test. And they told Mick Schumacher off a couple of years ago, so don't destroy the engine. We need to use it for the test next week.
Yeah, very dominant year by Max. I will say that.
Yeah. You can't say any more than that, really, for him, can you?
No. I think Mercedes finished 3 points ahead of Ferrari. Williams still finished ahead of AlphaTauri. Shame that Alonso and Hamilton had to retire their car last year. They would have recreated that moment for Seb's last race. Oh, yeah. Because Hamilton and Alonso retired really early because we were hoping for all of them three to do the donuts together, weren't we?
Yep. I do remember.
I remember.
We never got it.
I remember.
Are you smart?
Are you smart? SMORT.
So Perez does finish P2, P3, no P2 and P2 in the championship for the drivers, but it's not an impressive P2. How do you feel about that, Sarah?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like obviously if like Hamilton and technically if Hamilton didn't get disqualified from Kota, wouldn't he have finished in front or
I think
near on?
Yeah, Hamilton would have been 18 points higher, and the Ferrari boy, everyone else in the field would have been 3 or 4 points lower, or whatever position it would have been. So, yeah, I still think that disqualification for Leclerc and Hamilton is weird for Kota.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to repeat what I said very, very quickly. It takes very little time just to check the ride height of every car. They don't have to check every bit of every car, but just the ride height.
Yeah.
That's just me. Coulthard seems to do a lot of the hosting for the end
Post race, yeah.
Yeah, he did the Vegas last week as well.
Maybe he's just like, yeah, I wanna do it.
Yeah. I still maintain, I don't think it's a big problem for Ferrari to finish P3 instead of P2. They're getting more time in the wind tunnel next year. And, they get a little bit less money. Ooh, the Ferrari. It doesn't matter. They got literal millions from the parent company. extra money from F1 because they've been in it since the start. Money is not a problem for Ferrari. A little bit of
Yeah.
pride,
Thank you,
maybe.
Pedro. Although it shows, right, that Mercedes haven't won a race, but they still finished P2.
Yeah. The only
How?
team,
I don't know, but still.
the only teams to win a race or a sprint are McLaren and Ferrari,
Mhm.
other than Red
Yep.
Bull. Yeah, Ferrari could really use the wind tunnel time. Well, what is scary is even with a cost cap breach and a penalty of wind tunnel time and money, Red Bull has still dominated the year. I am
Mm.
genuinely worried about next year. Because what do you feel about team domination, Sarah? Do you think it hurts the sport, or do you think it raises the sport higher to get more competition from the other teams trying harder? What do you feel? Have I lost you again?
No, I was just listening to George. He was
So,
just saying that he was not been feeling great for the last couple of weeks.
oh bless him. Well, emotionally or physically?
I don't know, but it's his only second podium of the year
Oh,
for him.
oh. Yeah. What do you feel? Do you think the domination hurts the sport, or makes the competition even better in terms of like making the other teams raise themselves up?
Yeah.
You missed the question in there, didn't you?
Yeah. So I was listening to Leclerc. That was really awkward, like thingy between him and DC. So, oh, bracelet. Oh, is it a gift? No, it's a sponsor. Sorry, repeat your question for me.
Do you think the competition, or do you think the dominance from Red Bull hurts the sport, and particularly people joining like new watches and all that sort of thing, or helps raise the sport in terms of the profile and the future competition from the teams trying harder?
Ooh, good question. I can see points of view from both perspectives because I feel like it could do either. One, it could obviously people will be like, oh, it's just like another like Hamilton dominance era, but with Verstappen, and you get so used to just one person winning it that there's no point watching it. But then obviously they miss like all the other battles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as you said, if you're like, all right, he's had a dominant race this year. You've seen wherever everyone else has finished. How like performance wise they've stepped up a lot towards the last races of the season. If they carry on doing their developing for next year, it
Scary, isn't
could
it?
set them up. It could set them up pretty well, and hopefully we see a few more battles for the win next year. So
I hope so.
it could do either. It's that fine line between right. Do you stay and watch in the hope that teams are going to get quicker, or do you stay and watch because obviously Max might come back and be crazily stupid fast again, or you just stop watching?
Yeah, I've known a lot of people, friends of mine, who have watched the F1 for years, and when there's a dominant team, they just tune out, which you can argue is not a true F1 fan, but at the end of the day, if people who are self-described as true F1 fans are tuning out, regardless of how you feel about it, it can't be that great. But I'm more worrying about the people that are
Mm,
tuning in for the first time. They're either going to be loving it because their favourite driver and the most popular driver at the moment, Max, is
yeah,
winning, or they're just going to be seeing the same result week in, week out.
yeah.
Depends on your point of view. It really does, doesn't it?
Mhm. Hamilton and Russell are the only driver pairing that had a draw in terms of their quali results. I think it's only counting qualifying for a feature race, and it's 11-11.
Hmm. Well, here's a stat
Um,
for you. Here's a stat for you as well. The last non-Red Bull or Mercedes champion was 2007.
Really?
Kimi Räikkönen.
I hope I hope McLaren has a massive step forwards in their performance next season, right from the very start. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, McLaren in the last 2 or 3 years have come to Bahrain with a dog of a car.
Mm,
Twice or 3 times, I think. Like brakes on fire and all sorts.
yeah.
They need a good start to the season, and so do Mercedes next year. Um,
Mhm.
what is scary is Red Bull have not developed this car for a long time.
No.
What I'm hopeful for next year is, weirdly enough, is Mercedes' bad pace this year is with a very, very flawed concept, and they're still finishing P2. So they're going to have a return to, I think it's Sam Elliott is coming back in to run he's back in to run the technical side of the Mercedes team for next year. And they're not going to have the same problems. I mean, one of the problems they had was when they went to the zero side pod, even though they got rid of it, the engine was still packed in a certain way where the centre of gravity was higher, the weight was
Yeah.
higher. Now they get to go back to a more traditional concept that will be brought back down, lower and lighter. They're going to have potentially a very big step,
Yeah.
but still up against Red Bull. Says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. Does say a lot about it.
Yeah. Mercedes need a
That's
huge
a cool
step.
shot.
It is beautiful. Do you know what? That's a wallpaper right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I know, Pedro. How is Kimi still the last Ferrari champion? But yeah, before that was obviously Michael Schumacher in 2004. Says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the power unit for Mercedes, for them it will be unlocking performance. Although the engines and the power units themselves are homogenized, which means they can't develop them. With the cooling packages, it means they have to run them a lot leaner, a lot cooler, because of that concept they've locked themselves into this year and the year before. So next year they might be able to actually turn up the engine up higher, not necessarily develop it, but use it more.
Yeah.
So there's promising facts there for Mercedes, but I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm still worried that Red Bull are going to dominate.
Yeah, I feel like Red Bull are gonna dominate, but Ferrari and McLaren are not gonna be too far behind. I feel like maybe hopefully they should be able to challenge them a little bit more. Because I think the last races, especially, Charles has just switched on,
He has, hasn't he? That's promising.
and yeah, so
Vegas was brilliant from him.
yeah,
Apart from the literal one mistake he made, literal one, he then rectified it and got back past Perez, didn't he?
mhm. So I don't know. I hope, obviously, next year the racing itself is a little bit more exciting. But all in all, I think the racing there's not really been a race that we've completely switched off from, because there's always some sort of battle in the middle that we're looking at. It's just that thing, isn't it? That obviously we're watching to see who wins it, but we're also watching to see all of the battles like across the field.
Absolutely.
And I know that some people just watch it to see who wins.
Yeah.
But then that's where I think it helps you learn a lot more about racing when you're not just focused on the winner, you're focused on like everyone else and like the strategic side to it.
Completely, yeah. Absolutely. I will say the difference between a 7 out of 10 race and a 9 out of 10 race, for instance, is a battle for the lead. But you can have some really epic drives in the middle of the pack and some great overtakes and all sorts. So, yeah. You are completely right, though. It's the mid-pack action, even in this race, has been good. Although a lot of the camera work did miss it.
Yeah, for F1, not Ferrari. F1. Whoever is telling you to look away from the last lap,
Yeah.
tell them no.
Yeah, it's always the last lap or so. It's like, let's focus on Max.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, put it on. Put it on, but put a side camera of the action or something.
Yeah, split screen it. I'm sure you've got enough money to split screen the broadcasts.
Precisely that. And even then, you don't need to watch Perez coming over and what was P2 on track. You don't need to see that. Just like, whoop, they're done. And then look at that. There you go. Move on. They literally only need to go right one frame, move back. Not 10 seconds of just looking down the pit straight for no reason. And that's happened this race, last race, race before. And I know it happened in several of the sprint races that me and Pedro watched. We were shouting at the screens like, change to that battle. I think my biggest complaint this year is genuinely some of the TV coverage in the latter stages of the race.
Yeah. And I think I agree with you there. And I was just about to say, I think this national anthem is going to be ingrained in our heads for a few years.
I've got PTSD from this and the German national anthem from Vettel and Schumacher, German and Italian national anthems. But then again, you get the same from anyone outside of the UK when they see Hamilton winning. Oh God! And then when they got a different winner in Mercedes, it was Russell. Okay, that's happened once, but you get the point.
No. Pedro is my second national anthem at the moment.
If I remember correctly, it was Spain's national anthem. I can't remember the fact properly. So, it's either the Dutch or the Spanish national anthem declare loyalty to the other one's monarchy. I can't remember which way round it is. It used to be in the anthem until the last 50 years or something. And it's for literal hundreds of years, they were declaring allegiance to the other one's monarchy. It's that doesn't make any sense. Dutch to Spanish. Thank you. Knew it was one way round. That is a gorgeous trophy, is it not?
No.
I mean, you see some amazing trophies. And then, do you remember the Paul Ricard one, which was the gorilla a few years back?
Yeah.
It's like, what? You'd never forget it, would you?
No.
I'll tell you what, you do get some fantastic trophies. Well, that has got to be top tier, that one, hasn't it?
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, Pedro.
No, Pedro.
As we've spoken about before, though, we've had a conversation about this. Like, the infrastructure in some countries isn't there to the same extent as Italy, the UK, and and Germany, for instance. It's just not there to the same degree. And I mean, I think that brings up a point that Hamilton makes quite a lot. It's not always the most talented people that make their way through. Pay drivers who end up in F1.
Yeah.
There's a pin. Sorry, was that too brutal? Right, I guess we can go to our breakdown then.
Yeah.
Let's do exactly that. So, excuse me. I've remembered to do it in the right order today, Sarah, so just bear with me a second.
Woo!
Although it might have just crashed OBS for your feed on that, so sorry.
It's alright. You can just see, the top of my head, I think.
Okay, that's alright then. No, that wasn't on purpose. OBS just went, nah.
Nah, not doing it. I've had enough. I've had enough.
Oh, I'll go for a little rest.
I've had enough. I have. Woo.
Yes. For whatever reason, I can't get my one of that up on my OBS. So give me a second. Always happens when it comes to this bit. It just doesn't play very well.
No.
So bear with me.
Till February
I know.
to see any sort of F1 car. I'm gonna miss it.
Me and you both. Right.
To be fair, after this weekend, that's when I'm back to work as well.
Terrible. Right. I am ready whenever you are.
I'm ready to go. Wow, 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 wow.
Have you had sugar again today, Sarah?
No. Not yet.
You've not been downing more Sprites, have you?
No.
Right. Right. Okay. So, I need to bring up the qualifying results. Have you got the finished results?
I got him. I got him.
Got 'em. Just give me a second. I'll get the qualifying results. What order shall we do the breakdown in today?
I'll let you decide because I decided last time.
Shall we do? We always do it from like the lowest to the top. Shall we do it from top to bottom today, from finishing results?
Can do.
I love how you're committal to that one. Like, yeah, can do.
Right, let's do it.
Sure. All right. So let's start. Who won the race, Sarah?
Oh, I don't know. I think he might be Dutch. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know, but I think his name's Max.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Checo didn't he? Yeah. I think Checo did, right?
Oh, in the non P1 championship, of course.
Do.
Exactly.
What's Verstappen? Oh, did you hear? I don't know if I was the only one to hear it, right? On the official F1 broadcast, right? I think it was either Ted or Crofty or someone saying there's no Verstopping Max Verstappen. Hopefully I ain't the only one that heard that. Because even I cringed at that. Silently in my head, I was just like, eh?
I didn't do it silently at all. I just loudly went, oh, dear God. Right.
See, I heard that.
I rather wish I hadn't. Right. Okay.
Can't be Verstopped.
Put my name and move on. I'm going to stop this in a minute. Right. Max A, move on.
Yep.
Saying it wasn't an A result for him. He didn't really, honestly, he didn't really do anything. It's just sat there.
Yeah.
It's kind of saying something if I'm considering giving him a B, because all he did was just sit out front. Then again, he's nukes the field, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
Yeah, perfection. And just being a victim of being in P1 and having an easy win is no...
Victim of P1.
No, victim of... The way I'm trying to word it, I'm trying to do it sort of a poetically, sort of melancholy sort of way, but it's kind of a... You can't criticise him.
He's a victim of P1.
Yeah, you can't criticise him for not having an interesting race, that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, alright, let's move on. Right, P2 finisher.
Charles Leclerc.
Who finished where he started.
Yeah. A victim of his own success.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. He did have to fight for that, though. I mean, he did have battles on track. He had to pass people. I mean, arguably, I think he did more than Max did, but he's just not had the pace.
Yeah, I agree.
I would give him a weak A. How do you feel?
Yeah,
Done.
I'd agree.
Done skis.
Although I preferred his race last weekend to this one.
Oh, completely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was... we had like an A in between A and A star. He would have definitely been closer to an A star last weekend, sort of deal. But yeah, but he did make a mistake or two last weekend, but still got away with it.
Yeah.
Anywho, so P3 was
Russell.
he was.
Got it.
Was that a question?
Yeah. No, sorry, I was looking down. I was looking at something, and I was looking down, and I was like, oh yeah, Russell.
Okay. He actually started P4. Fought for it today. I genuinely think he deserves another A. What do you think?
Yeah. Maybe. A low A or a high B for me.
I'd be thinking lowest of A's. Just because I think he has given a good performance. And he's only been 3 or 4 seconds off Leclerc.
Yeah.
In a Mercedes, which has been a bit tricky this year, to say the least.
I suppose. Can
I talk you into that?
Yeah, that's alright.
Thanks. Yeah.
And in a way, he did secure Mercedes P2 in the championship. So
yeah, no, exactly that. Okay, P4.
I'll back that.
P4.
Sergio Perez.
Whom started... Well, I'm trying to find where he was. 9th.
P9, I believe, yeah.
Who started 9th. So, what do you feel, Sarah? What is your thinking?
I mean, his qualifying isn't great, but it seems to be race-wise, the last few races especially, he can work his way up. Mean, we did think that the penalty was harsh, but on looking at it, it's quite consistent from the FIA.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
I would argue he's had a good race-ish.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I'm saying, a good race-ish.
Because he's come through the pack, but he's put himself in that position again.
Yeah.
And you can see his teammate has won the Constructors' Championship by himself. And,
basically.
Yeah. And quite frankly, Perez should be doing better. And he's could have finished P2, but he's gone and got himself a 5-second penalty again. He's good, but he's still flawed.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm being overly critical, but when your teammate is Max, I think you have to be.
True.
So B.
It's that thing. If Pedro said, I believe, I think I saw it briefly, is that they're in the finish P1 and 2 for like 5 races.
Yeah, and that's...
Imagine if they kept doing that, they would have cleared like 1,000 points.
Oh,
in the constructors,
at least 900.
Yeah.
There was a stat in, I want to say 2014, where Mercedes had I think it 2014, 2018, I think it might have been, or one of those years, that they had the most 1-2 finishes of any season, and that includes that dominant 1992 season of Williams, which had that epic car. So for Red Bull not to get that one I think that rests on Perez's shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more that Max could have done, really, when you think about it.
No, I mean, I think he's not finished on the podium 2, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, I think Perez won a few races at the start, then obviously Carlos, so I think it's only like 3 races that Max hasn't won.
Yeah, and one of them was Singapore when Red Bull, they cocked up and made a horrendous car that weekend. But
yeah,
it's going to happen occasionally.
Yeah, it had to happen at some point.
Yeah, they can't be perfect every race weekend. So, shall we move on? B?
Yeah.
That's just because he went up like 7 places. But the fact he bumped into Norris is not a good sign, not a good showing.
No.
Either way. Next one.
Talking about Norris, P5.
Hooray! Who started P5?
P5.
So,
Slow pit stop from McLaren.
yeah, that didn't help. Particularly when it was a race of... Did we even see yellow flag today?
Don't think so.
So yeah, on pace, third or fourth quickest car today.
Had a bit of a weird strategy in a slow stop.
Yeah. What rank would you give him?
I'd say maybe a C plus. I don't think it's a B.
Interesting. I was going to say, like Pedro said, a B. But I can talk me into a C plus.
Although it's good, it's towards the start of the race. They looked mighty fast. And then towards the end, it's like they were... Well, they weren't too far off. I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. They would have... Obviously, because Perez went up to second because Leclerc let him through. Which meant on the road, they were like 4 or 5 seconds behind...
Russell. Yeah.
But overall finished 2.8 seconds behind Perez with the penalty. So I don't know. It's that thing. Is that we've seen them do really well, and then for them to just get P5 and 6, it's almost like
No, I'm with you.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna bring in Piastri on this one. My thinking would be Norris, the weakest of Bs you could probably ever imagine. Piastri C plus. Then again, you could probably argue a C for him. And we'll get to that. Okay, I'm gonna submit and go C plus in a minute.
You can put me in B if you want.
Yeah,
you can go with the majority. I just think I don't know. I feel like
it wasn't strong from him today, was it?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just like,
yeah. No, okay.
We know he can do a lot better.
Yeah, and by his own confession, he needs to do better in qualifying. But considering he started P5, that wasn't bad. That was only 4 tenths off Max. So
yeah,
I don't think that was horrendous qualifying for him, but he did finish 6 thousandths behind Piastri, qualifying again, behind Piastri, and 2 tenths behind... no, sorry, I was looking at Russell's time. So he's a 10th behind Oscar, and then 3 tenths behind Leclerc, so... Okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Norris just needs to work on his qualifying for next year.
Yeah.
Right, next one.
Piastri.
Start at P3. Finish P6. See?
I was going to say C+, but he did look up a few times.
And he's finished 3 places lower than when he started. I don't think that's the same as Norris.
Yeah, I'll give him a C then.
Cool. And as far as the rookies go, I still think he's, like we've said, like Rookie of the Year by...
Oh, 100%.
By... I mean, it's only him and Sargent, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been him, Sargent, and Nick. But...
True, yeah. Who's obviously not with us anymore, through lack of a better term, in terms of the F1 family.
I can say that sounded really like...
I know, that's why I had to
really
choose my words
bad.
very carefully. But yeah, he's been pretty much faultless this year, other than little things he can improve on. But he still needs to work on a couple of things compared to Norris to be quicker in the race over a longer endurance sort of length.
Oh, but all in all,
yeah,
like for Ricky's season, he's done really well.
Oh yeah, impressive, very impressive. Okay, but yeah, I think it's good the fact he got a C and it was generally considered not a great race from him.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. I would be very happy with a C after finishing.
I feel like we need to do like
top six.
a stream.
Yep.
Where we go through them all, like all the drivers, and rate their year.
So well, so far we've got an F1 calendar for that ideal calendar that we'd like, the Brawn documentary, and driver rankings for 2023.
Oh my god, guys, you're gonna see us.
We're going to be doing extra stuff. Oh, and more and pre GPs, which are going to be off-season pre GPs.
Yeah.
We have to think of a name of it. Off-season GP.
Huh.
We'll think of something.
Off winter break testing, pre GP, post GP,
F1 hiatus, winter shenanigans.
Yeah. All in one.
Crash
come up with a better name.
1000.
Yeah.
Midnight Hates Ocon, Crash Fest, that sort of thing. I'm not letting it go.
Alright.
Cool. Next one.
Alonso.
Review. Yes. Alonso. Started P7, ended P7.
Finished P7.
C plus. He didn't go backwards unlike Piastri.
True.
Same as Norris.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Just kind of there.
He did a few good moves in there. He took Snowder and Hamilton and had a few bits and a few battles. But it's a shame seeing Aston where they've ended up this season from where they started. I mean, they haven't developed the car nearly as well as we hoped.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So we'll get to the other driver. Right, next one.
Tsunoda
started P6. He's actually gone down
2 places to P8.
But give us a ranking, Sarah. It's going to be interesting what we both think on this.
I'm tempted between a B and a C plus. Because although he's gone backwards, he's for him and that car is a decent race. With a few good moves.
Yes, very tactically sound. Well, tactically very clever racecraft wise today. Honestly, I'd be very, very willing to give him a strong B.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, that move with Hamilton passing him on the final lap just squeezes him tight to the apex. Hamilton can't turn the car and then ends up effectively locking up and going wide. And that is it's simple, but that's racecraft we haven't seen from Yuki before. And like Pedro, I was entertaining an A as well. I'd be willing to give him a B because he has gone down places. But in that car, with that racecraft today, and that weird one-stop strategy, at least a B.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. If he were to do more performances like that, it would stop any of the what we've said and get rid of him moments, because he's finally showing that he should be there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a shame it took 3 seasons. Next one.
Hamilton.
Started P11.
Finished P9.
Alright, let's hear your thoughts.
I'm gonna go for a C. Or a C plus. I don't know. It just wasn't really there at all during this race. Whenever we saw him, he was just not either getting past or passing someone.
He was always involved in a little bit of an incident here and there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He lost a bit of his front nearly lost a bit of his front wing, bumping into the back of Gasly, which put that down to a racing incident. But
Yeah.
not the strongest of races of him, but solid.
Yeah.
Solid enough. Cool. Next one. Final of the points.
Stroll.
Whom started P13.
Finished P10.
I actually think he had a good race today. All things considered. I mean, he, like Yuki, went stupid long. He must have been on a one-stop as well.
No, he went hard, then medium.
Oh, that's odd. So he went nearly half the race. No, he went 1/3. Okay. Oh, it was just Yuki that tried that. Okay. Okay. What do you think if I said C+? Up 3 places.
Yeah,
Points.
no, I'd agree with that. I was going to say, although we didn't see much of him, he was just kind of there, just doing this thing.
Yeah.
So
Can't
yeah,
argue
I'd
much
say
more than that, can you?
not really.
Alrighty, next one.
Daniel Ricciardo
Started 15th.
finished P11 and only finished 0.5 seconds behind Stroll.
It's not bad, actually, is it? He did do a couple of really good manoeuvres towards the end of the race as well.
Yeah.
Grade him? Any thoughts on grades?
Ooh. I'd go C+.
I would too. It's exactly what I was thinking. Okay. Next one.
Ocon.
F. I'm not bitter.
He finished 10 seconds behind Ricciardo.
In P12.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that's where he started. Didn't see much of him, did we?
Nah. Alpines weren't great this weekend.
No. C-.
Yeah. Bang it in the average.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit meh. Cool. Next one. 13th.
Gasly.
Whom started P10.
Finished P13.
Same again. Weak C-. I mean, I think he's going to be lucky not to get a D grade.
Yeah.
Well, maybe D's too harsh, but it wasn't a good race, was it?
No.
No.
I feel like Gasly needs to assert his dominance at Alpine. Because they always let Ocon undercut him or like get in front of him.
It does seem to be that. Go on.
Go first. I'm saying not that Gasly's like he hasn't had a terrible year, but like he's done all right. But every time I see them next to each other, they always ask for Ocon to go in front of him.
I do think Gasly had much more of a better year at AlphaTauri last year. You know, he seemed stronger there. He doesn't seem as perfectly settled in Alpine.
It might take him a year though to.
Yeah, could do.
Settle.
Ocon's been there for a couple of years now, hasn't he? So that would make sense. Righty, 14th.
Albon.
Started 14th. Not been a good one though for him, has it? He did put a pass on. I can't remember who it was now. I mean, he's good race to wheel to wheel action. That Williams has seen a bit crap in the last few races.
Yeah.
14th to 14th.
Williams wasn't amazing this weekend. I don't know if we can really give.
It's either the same as Ocon or just above in a C. What do you think?
Knowing what that Williams is capable of, I feel it's like a C minus.
I'm happy with that. It's one of those races where Albon has shown he's good, but the machinery with him is not. Okay, next one.
Hulkenberg.
Who? Do you know where he started?
P8.
He did. That is.
Down 7 places.
That's easily a D rank, isn't it?
I suppose, but he's in the house.
7 places.
Yeah. I mean, the house is not great, is it? But
no, it is not.
it seems to be sometimes alright in quali.
8th.
But apart from that.
Q3, he did his qualifying lap, and it was only just over 6/10 slower than Max. That's great pace from a house. Nowhere like that in a race.
No.
So honestly, it's less. I think this is less a reflection of Hulkenberg, but the team as a general. So
yeah.
At no point you ever see Hulkenberg going forwards ever. In that
No.
car. So either way, next one.
Sargent.
Who started 20th, and where did he end up 17th?
P16.
P16th. C minus ahead of Albon. It's gone up places.
Yeah, and it actually finished ahead of a Ferrari.
No. Oh no.
Because the people below him are Zhou and Sainz.
Do we bump him up to a C just for that one fact?
I mean...
Do you know what? I'm going to give him a C for that one. He's ahead of a Ferrari. Come on.
I mean, it was Ferrari's fault, though.
I don't care.
Alright, then.
I mean, he's gone up 3 places. I think that is better than ranking than Albon today.
Okay.
That's how I'm actually justifying it. And
we've got 4 places, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will justify that as he is ahead of Albon and Ferrari.
Alright.
Wow, I wasn't aware of that. Okay, next one.
Zhou.
Whom started 19th, finished 17th.
17th.
C minus. Nothing wrong, nothing good.
Alfa Romeo. That's the one that's just Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, nothing wrong, nothing good. C minus, move on. Next one.
Carlos Sainz.
Where did he start? 18th.
No, P16.
16th. Have we missed out a driver?
No.
Either way. Sorry.
The next one's a Bottas and Magnussen.
Right, yeah. So he started P6. Honestly, Sainz, what do we say? His teammate is in 2nd. Terrible strategy from Ferrari, and Sainz had no pace. Is that a D or is that an E? Just for being shocking.
Sainz is technically P18 because he went into the pits on the final lap.
But why? Is that just him having a hissy fit because he's not?
So he had to pit because he was on hards. And hard, and then softs.
Was it the final lap or was it the penultimate lap he pitted?
Penultimate lap, I believe. He had to do 1 lap on the softs.
Yeah, which is... And Ferrari called him in on the final lap as well. But either way. D or an E? I'll let you pick, sir. It's not an F.
I'll say D.
Pedro, your thoughts. D or an E? Or anyone else in the chat. D or an E for Sainz? I do feel it's by far it's one of the worst drives this season for many people. It's just not a good drive. So I'll put him in the D for the meantime. Pedro says D.
Pedro said D.
Pedro said D. Cool. Next one.
Bottas.
Who started 19th, 18th, started and finished 19th. And hello, Koulios. I knew that was going to be you. Is that a D or C minus?
Finish a lap down. I don't know. I'd say D.
Yep.
But he's at Alfa Romeo. Just like, I don't know.
I am going to put him ahead of Hulkenberg, just to see if he's not gone backwards. Also, he has a crazy good moustache. He doesn't. And that leaves us with one person.
Magnussen.
Who started 17th.
Finished a lap down in P20.
I think that's a D as well. Behind. I think that's behind Hulk, just or equal Hulk. What do you feel?
Well, he had to come in after 6 laps. He went medium for 6 laps, then onto the hards, then pitted around lap 20, and from lap 20 something to 58, he was on hards.
I think he had a minor get together with one of the drivers at the back in the hotel section, and we saw him across the runoff zone for a little while. Admittedly, yeah, that strategy has probably put him off a bit, but that would have given him clearer and chance to make up any time. But, I don't think it was a good race from him. I mean, I don't think he's had a good year at all.
No.
So I think he's lucky to have a drive for next year at this point. But not every year is going to be your year.
True.
So are you happy with those standings as we've rated them?
Yes, I am. I am.
Sweet.
You?
Yeah, I can cope with that. I can cope with that.
Okay.
So, otherwise, how would you... Any final thoughts on the Grand Prix and a rating for the race itself?
Not really. I think obviously being the last race of the season, it always brings that, I guess, excitement, and also kind of like, oh, it's the last race of the season sort of feeling. But I mean, the race in itself today wasn't amazing. But there was a few battles here and there. But all in all, I think
not the most thrilling of Grand Prix.
it's for me today. What about you?
I didn't hear a word of what you said there. You went quiet for me.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
I can indeed.
Oh, I was basically saying I feel like it's an average race for me. Wasn't amazing.
I think your stream's
Wasn't...
gone off, by the way.
Is it?
No, it's back on. It just glitched for me, I think.
Oh no, it did go off, I think.
I think you dropped. Yeah, I think you dropped there for a second or two.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're back now.
Oops.
That's the main thing. Okay, so what were you saying about the rating of this Grand Prix?
What wasn't too exciting. Bit of an average race. Nothing too exciting. Nothing too like boring. In the middle for me.
Okay, have you got a figure in your mind? Because I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to change anything of what you said there. I'm just going to agree. It's
P5 or 6.
I was going to say 5.5 or 6. So
Why did I say P5 or 6?
I know what you mean. Can we meet in the middle? Say, what would we say? 5.5 or 6? There or thereabout. Is that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing particularly special happened today. There was a good couple of battles in there,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Just kind of average. But also, I was saying it brings obviously its excitement of the last race, but also like it's the last race of the season sort of thing.
Even Pedro said 5.5.
Mm.
I think we're all thinking the same thing there. So collectively, 5.5.
Yeah,
Not
I'd
terrible, not great.
I'd agree.
So I think this would probably be like on the C- sort of scale, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So there or thereabouts. I mean, there was one race I remember introducing some of my friends to. It was like, this is the Formula One thing. They obviously knew all about it, but then we watched, like, I think it was like Valencia 2011, and there was like one overtake all race. I was like, it was better than that. This race is better than that. But no, it's by no means a classic. But like you say, the theatrics of it all, great. But do you know what? Vegas dwarfed that last week. So, okay, neither here nor there, I guess. So, season's over, Sarah. You given up? You still with me, Sarah? Thank you. Have we lost you altogether, Sarah? Because I can't see you talking. Talkie right. Okay, I'm going to presume that you're no longer with me on the stream, Sarah. So I'm going to say...
I'm back.
Hey!
But my stream died, so I raided you.
Thanks.
Hopefully it went over.
It did indeed. Yeah. As Pedro said, this season was quite something. It has been the Max Verstappen podcast, show, pre-show, post-show, on track. Everything's been maxed out to the Verstappening.
Do.
What she said. But yeah, we'll get into some winter content and do a couple of breakdowns and whatnot. And we've got DTS to look forward to for what, February time, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be on last year, won't it?
No, it'll be on this year.
This year. Yeah, it'll be on this year. I can't remember how they do it. It's always the year behind, isn't it? But yeah, we have had a bit of everything. But the battle for the Drivers' Championship, which has been won by... with the Constructors, and won by Max. That says a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, we can look forward to next year.
But in typical hockey fashion, my stream just decided to die right at the end, so...
But it wasn't just you this year, though. It happened to me a couple of times. There was one day, my stream just shat itself and just turned off, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Completely. I can't remember which Grand Prix that was. But, yeah, it's happened to the pair of us. We don't get technical faults in the podcast. It won't happen anywhere. But it's always the podcast. So, cool. We're going to go away for the winter, do some winter content, some more pre-GPs, well, winter testing, whatever shenanigans, and come back with more of that. But for myself, I'm going to say, Sarah, thank you for the raid.
Thank you as well.
I'm going to say a big thank you to yourself in particular, and another big thank you to Pedro, who has done the majority, easily, of the background stuff on this and other formula with our Nighthawk presentations and whatnot, particularly qualifying. So congrats to Pedro, and thank you very, very much. We do appreciate it, even if we can't always physically be with you due to work and other commitments. But yeah, as a group, I think it works nicely between us three, particularly for the podcast. And we're going to see what we can do next year. Try and make it a bit more reliable, being more consistent, which is kind of the same thing in a different way, and see what we can introduce. Any thoughts and processes you want us to bring in? Let us know. We'll see what we can do. Other than that, Sarah.
Yeah.
Any final closing thoughts, or is it time to go for lunch?
Yeah, no, just repeating what you said, really.
Ditto.
We won't just disappear over the winter. We will be around doing some stuff like Midnight said, and we'll also kind of look into next year on how we can iron out a few technical issues that I'm having, and also like making again the podcast bigger and better. But yeah, thank you for joining us for our I think this is our first proper
full season.
Full season. So thank you for joining us through all the races, and we appreciate your support, and we hope to see you over the winter for some other content, and also again next year for the F1. But obviously keep us updated about anything like pre-testing or anything you see news-wise, and if we can react to it, we will.
Exactly that. And yeah, we'll be back. We got a GT7 exhibition race on Wednesday. So something to look forward to, which we need to discuss the track selection, because Mac's already bugging me about it. So we've got to do that hopefully by end of today. So we will, for those that are in the Nighthawk Discord, we will be releasing that as soon as we have the decision on it. Other than that, yeah, end of another season, as you say, Sarah. It's our first full year, because last year I think we did like 90% of races, didn't we? And I think we skipped out. What did we skip last year? I don't think we skipped any Grand Prix outright, did we? But
I think we skipped Australia. No, we skipped. No,
we did it.
We skipped one of the early ones. Yeah, we skipped really like one of the early ones, and we skipped another one.
I think that might have been Australia or something to that effect. Yeah, that would sound about right. But yeah, it's been fun, and it's been a good year. And yeah, again, thank you, Pedro, for like covering a lot of the F2 stuff and lots of things. Just there's not enough room in my brain to do F1, F2, Formula E, pre-GP, and all that sort of thing. There's not enough room in here. So
yeah, obviously, let us know if there's any suggestions that you guys have, and we'll see if we can bring them to next year or to other stuff. Yeah, exactly. Just appreciate your support, and we'll see you probably at some point for Vespucci before Thursday, and we'll see you.
Times 3 on Vespucci. Anyone to join in has got a PS5. Come have fun with us on Vespucci. I promise to go somewhat easy on the Apache. I don't.
And obviously, like Midnight said, we'll see you on Wednesday for another exhibition. Other than that, we'll see you around. We'll see you around for other stuffs.
Catch you all soon. We're going to go out and raid R. Harrison. I owe him a raid. I'm pretty sure he's playing iRacing, so we're going to keep it in the racing motorsport family. And let's go. See you all soon. Let's have some fun. Please hang around just for the raid. Exclamation point raid will give you a little message to copy and paste if you feel like it. And please paste it in the chat when we get there for the Twitch followers. Anyone on YouTube, please feel free to give us a like, comment and subscribe. Feel free to check out The Hawkey, which is to my side. Thank you very much, Pedro. And yeah, we'll be back soon.
We'll be back.
And on that note, here comes the raid. Catch you all later.
Bye.